So today's video is going to be about PnB Rock and Queen Elizabeth, because I found a lot of predictive programming with both of these characters and they died 4 days apart. But before we get into Queen Elizabeth, I just want to talk about PnB Rock, because as you guys know, I made a video about him 2 days ago. And if you guys haven't watched this video, I recommend you guys check it out. The link is in the description below. So on December 11th, 2019, there was this article that somebody made where they said PnB Rock died, right? And obviously it was fake. So there was these articles that were made that say PnB Rock death hoax, another day, another death hoax. And what I find interesting about this is PnB Rock actually responded to these claims that he was dead. As you guys can see, his tweet is at the bottom and he said, "I ain't dead, I'm big up." And he said this on December 11th, 2019. And I find that interesting because he ended up dying on September 12th, 2022. So this was 3 years before he died. And also his birthday is December 9th. So his birthday and his death date are the same numbers, just reversed. Because his birthday is 12/9 and then his death date is 9/12. So he made this tweet 2 days after his birthday, which means whoever started the rumor that he was dead was actually doing predictive programming, because they did it around his birthday. And they do this all the time, man. They'll say that a celebrity's dead and then years later that celebrity will end up dying, and it's all predictive programming. If you guys don't know what predictive programming is, it basically means that they put something out in the media and then years later it ends up happening. And they do this to condition your mind so that when it actually happens, you'll accept it, because subconsciously you already remember this happening. And a lot of you guys were in my comments saying that you guys actually remember PnB Rock dying a couple years ago. And this is why, because they did a death hoax in 2019. And some people call it Mandela effect, but Mandela effect is not real, because what's happening here is predictive programming. It's not a Mandela effect. You know, Mandela effect is actually a conspiracy that they put out to try to cover up the fact that they're doing predictive programming and making people forget stuff. Because a lot of people don't realize that in the United States, there's bromine in some food, and bromine causes memory loss. So people who believe in Mandela effects are basically just having memory loss from the food, or they're remembering predictive programming and they don't even know it. So yeah, I just found it very interesting that his death was actually foreshadowed in 2019. And the fact that his tweet is still up here goes to show that they're not trying to hide anything. But moving along, another thing I want to talk about is the fact that he died at Roscoe's House of Chicken and Waffles, right? And his girlfriend posted this and she put the location. And obviously none of this is real. They did this just for the media so that they can have a story to run with. But all of this is scripted, because do you guys really think it's a coincidence that he was eating chicken before he died, and then when he died, all of these news articles came out and they were all using this picture of PnB Rock? And if you look closely at this picture, not only is he doing symbolism right here, but there's even a chicken on his shirt. So they're letting us know in plain sight that all of this is scripted and that it's a big joke. Because why out of all the pictures they chose one where he's doing symbolism and where he has a chicken on his shirt? And here's another picture of that same day where you can see the chicken on his shirt, and it's also very colorful, which is also very symbolic. And I also found it interesting that this article in particular only showed his shirt. You know what I mean? Like, his face is not even on the thumbnail of this article. They just showed the shirt. They made a complete mockery out of this situation. So I recommend you guys watch my first video about this if you haven't. The link is in the description below. I touched on a lot more details in this video about how PnB Rock's death was very scripted, and it was connected to XXXTentacion, King Von, Pop Smoke, and a bunch of other people that reacted to it. And in that video I was talking about how PnB Rock is a mixture of Roman Reigns and Sunny Digital. And me and Divine Sade found out that he's also mixed with Nipsey Hussle's brother. As you guys can see, he looks a lot like him right here. So PnB Rock is a very mixed character. You know, like I mentioned in my Nardo Wig video, a lot of these younger celebrities are very mixed with multiple characters. So Nipsey's brother's name is Blacc Sam. That's what everybody knows him by. And he spells it with 2 C's on purpose, because obviously the surface level is because he's a Crip, but the real reason behind it is because of the gematria. So Blacc with 2 C's equals 21 and 12. And then Sam equals 21. and PnB Rock died September 12th. And keep in mind, he died in LA, and Nipsey Hussle's brother is from LA. So I just thought it was interesting that his name equals 12 and 21, and PnB Rock dies on the 12th of September. So that's a major connection right there. And then Murda also equals 21. And Murda is a song that the game did like 4 or 5 years ago. And a lot of articles are talking about it because apparently the game's song Murda eerily predicted PnB Rock's murder in Roscoe. And it's not that he predicted it, it's that he did predictive programming so that when it happens, people accept it and people won't question it. So on the song's third verse, game raps, "When you eat at Roscoe's, watch out for the chain snatchers, take it off slow or you might get killed." So that's the predictive programming that the game did, because he mentioned Roscoe's and PnB Rock ended up dying at Roscoe's. But all of this is scripted because, like I said, he faked his death on September 12th, and the song Murda equals 21 in Gematria. So that's a major connection right there. And by the way, I made a video on the game 7 months ago, so make sure you guys go check that out. The link is in the description below. And also Murda equals 33, just like Blacc and Sam. And Masonry equals 33 as well. So now let's talk about another person that's connected to PnB Rock's death, because there's so many things that were connected to this date. So PnB Rock died on Paul Walker's birthday, and I didn't know about this until after I made my last video. So this brings in a lot more connections because PnB, Paul, and Dead all equal 14 in the same cipher. And then Murder, PnB Rock, and Walker all equal 38 in the same cipher again. So obviously both of these characters were very scripted. And let me know if you guys want me to make a video on Paul Walker, because his death was extremely scripted. So let me know if you guys would be interested in that. But anyways, moving along. Now let's talk about Tupac, because he's also very connected to both of these characters, because he died on September 13th, which is one day after PnB Rock's death and Paul Walker's birthday. So all three of these characters are very connected due to these dates. And as you guys can see, Paul Walker and Tupac are doing the same symbolism right here. And Paul Walker was 40 years old when he faked his death, and Tupac Shakur equals 40. So all three of these characters' deaths were very scripted. And while I was doing research for this, I noticed that Tupac faked his death on September 13th, right? And Tupac equals 13. So that shows how scripted his death was. And if you guys want more information about Tupac, go watch my Tupac is Quavo video that I made 6 months ago. The link to this video is in the description below. I went really deep with this video. You know, I showed maximum proof that Tupac's young character right now is Quavo. So make sure you guys go check this out. And Sade also made a video about this as well. Alright, so now let's talk about Queen Elizabeth, because her death was extremely scripted as well. And I found a lot of predictive programming with her. Shout out to Sade because she made a video about this 8 days ago. And she was spot on with these characters, because Queen Elizabeth's other character is Stacey Dash. As you guys can see by these comparisons that Sade made, they look exactly alike right here. This is a younger picture of Queen Elizabeth, and she looks exactly like Stacey Dash. So shout out to Sade. Make sure you guys go check out her video. The link to this video is also in the description below. And she also exposed another one of their characters, which is Pam from The Office. As you guys can see, they look exactly alike right here. They have the same head shape and smile. You know, it's really creepy. So shout out to Sade for making all of these comparisons. She was very spot on with this video. And as you guys can see, Pam also looks a lot like Queen Elizabeth. So go watch her video if you guys want to see more information about her characters. In this video, I just want to talk about the scripting of Queen Elizabeth's death. So Queen Elizabeth I died in 1603 at 69 years old, right? And Queen Elizabeth equals 69. And Queen Elizabeth II, the one that died recently, was 96 years old when she died. And British royal family equals 96. So don't you guys find it very interesting that Queen Elizabeth I dies at age 69, and then Queen Elizabeth II dies at age 96? You know, 69 is just 96 in reverse. And the numbers 6 and 9 are literally the same number, just reversed. So 69 is a big number that they use because it can be interchangeable. And someone also pointed out that the Cancer symbol is 69, and the Freemasons have it in their lodge right there. So now let's talk about the other queen that died at 96 as well. So a lot of people don't even know about this, but Alison Aitken, known as the Queen of Canberra, dies at age 96, and she died on September 6th, which is literally 2 days before Queen Elizabeth's death. So don't you guys find it very suspicious that Queen Elizabeth died on September 8th and the Queen of Canberra died on September 6th, and they were both 96 years old, you guys? At this point, I could end the video because this 100% proves that all of this is scripted. And on top of this, Queen Elizabeth I was 69 when she died. So there's something very suspicious going on here, and obviously you guys can tell that this is scripted. You know, there's no other way to explain that. And to top it off, there's so much gematria with the number 69. So elite ruling class equals 69, and all these other things equal 69, like Catholic murder, planned killings, zodiac of Cancer. And like I showed you guys, the Cancer zodiac sign is a 69 sideways. And then passing of Queen equals 69, Freemason ritual equals 69, Catholic Church equals 69, the Jesuit order is 69, and Queen Elizabeth is 69, all in the same cipher. And then there's this song from Big Wild called Sixes to Nines, and I just wanted to show this because they use the number 6 and 9 a lot, because the numbers 3, 6, and 9 are very powerful. So keep in mind that the stuff they use is not bad. You know, it's just ancient knowledge that they're using against us. So don't think that all of this symbolism and stuff that they do is bad. They just use all of this ancient knowledge for their own evil agendas. So just to show you guys how scripted 69 is, if you write out 69 in gematria, it equals 139. And then when you write out 96, it equals 139 as well. And then Freemasonry is 139. And speaking of 69, Tekashi 69 mocked PnB Rock's death when he died. And this really shows that all of this is a joke and it's scripted. You know, the fact that 6ix9ine always jokes about people when they die. So he posted this on his story and he said homie died over a waffle. So I just find that interesting that 69 was involved in this news, because the numbers 69 and 96 were used a lot when Queen Elizabeth died. And in case you guys didn't know, I made a video about 6ix9ine because Lil Fizz is 6ix9ine. So if you guys haven't seen this video, the link is in the description below. And recently I made a video about him as well, because I found another character that he has, which is a woman from the show Orange is the New Black. And there's so many connections in that, and as you guys can see, they look exactly alike. So make sure you guys go watch those videos. I will link them in the description below. So now let's keep talking about Queen Elizabeth, because there's so much scripting with this. So Queen Elizabeth died on September 8th, and the Catholic Church celebrates the feast of the birth of the Virgin Mary on September 8th. One of the few feasts in the church that honors the birth of an individual. So the fact that they do this ritual on September 8th every year, and Queen Elizabeth died on the same exact day where they do this ritual, and September 8th is the 251st day of the calendar, and royalty death ritual equals 251, queen death ritual equals 251, and sacrifice ritual equals 251, all in the same cipher. And by the way, the other Queen of Canberra that died at 96, her name was Alison, right? And she died 6 days before PnB Rock. So I thought it was interesting that murder, PnB Rock, and Alison all equal 38 in the same cipher. You know, all of the characters that died around this date are all connected. So now let's talk about Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, because he died on April 9th. And shout out to the person that reminded me about this, because Prince Philip died April 9th, 2021, which is the exact same day that DMX died. As you guys can see, they died on the exact same day last year. And I just made a video about DMX, and this connects perfectly, because if you think about it, Stacey Dash cried over DMX's death recently, and then shortly after that, Queen Elizabeth dies, and Queen Elizabeth is Stacey Dash's base character. And then the big connection here is that Prince Philip, who is connected to Queen Elizabeth, died on the same day as DMX. So Queen Elizabeth and Stacey Dash both have connections to DMX and Prince Philip, and they both died on the exact same day. So that shows that both of these videos that we made are extremely accurate, and that shows that all of this is scripted. So if you guys haven't seen my video about Chief Keef that I dropped 2 days ago, make sure you guys go check it out. The link is in the description below. So I just wanted to show these pictures of Prince Philip because he does not look like a real human. You know, he looks like a demon right here. And his eyes are extremely dark. You know, for some reason, a lot of celebrities have extremely dark bags under their eyes, like if they're dead zombies or something. And I mentioned this in my DMX video because DMX and Chief Keef, as you guys can see, have really dark bags under their eyes. And a lot of celebrities have that. And Queen Elizabeth looks very creepy right here as well. You know, this is a picture of her zoomed in. And she literally looks like a demon right here. So now I want to talk about this Nostradamus book that correctly predicted that Queen Elizabeth II would die in 2022. So again, this is more predictive programming that she was going to fake her death in 2022. So the book says, this quatrain will come as no surprise to the British people, and it has wide implications. The first is that Queen Elizabeth II will die circa 2022 at the age of around 96. So it's not that this book predicted Queen Elizabeth's death, but this book was doing predictive programming so that when she died, a lot of people would accept it and they won't even question it because they'll feel like they already heard this before, you know what I mean? And a lot of people did hear about her dying before because there was so many memes about it in 2018. So in December of 2018, there was all these memes talking about how the Queen was going to die January 5th, 2019. And obviously she didn't die in 2019, but the fact that they were doing predictive programming that she was going to die really shows that they did a lot of predictive programming so that when it happens, nobody would question it. Because when it happened, a lot of people felt like she died already. So this meme says, Queen Elizabeth II, I wonder what the first meme of 2019 will be. Reddit, the Queen will die on January 5th. When the Queen's scrolling through Reddit and sees all the memes about her dying on January 5th. So there was a lot of memes that were doing predictive programming. And keep in mind, these memes are not made by real people. You know, the industry makes these memes specifically to condition our mind with predictive programming. And it's really a form of mind control and brainwashing. You know, so that's why I don't really like memes, because they're all scripted and they're not created by real people. And here's this other meme that somebody made where they said that Queen Elizabeth died at age 92. So at first they were making memes about her dying on January 5th. And then they started making memes about her being immortal. So right here it says, when people go from making memes about you dying to memes about you being immortal. And then they have Thanos and he said, I am inevitable. And then she said, and I am immortal. So the fact that there's this many memes about her being immortal really shows that all celebrities are immortal. You know, I've been talking about this for a long time now. Right here it says, when you add Queen Elizabeth face on your meme so that it doesn't die like your other memes. So they're basically saying that she's never gonna die. Queen Elizabeth II watching the Big Bang explosion. So they're basically saying that she has been around for billions of years because the Big Bang was supposedly 13.7 billion years ago. And here's some more memes about it. You guys can pause it and read them for yourself. I just wanted to go through these real quick just to show you guys all of the predictive programming and all of the memes that were basically admitting that Queen Elizabeth is immortal. And they're making jokes about this so that people won't take it serious. You know, I always talk about this because they love to make a joke out of everything that's true. And all of these jokes are truth in plain sight. It's just that a lot of people took it as a joke and not as the truth. So right here it says, Britain, long live the Queen. And the Queen said, I took that literally. So there's a lot of memes about her being immortal. You guys can read them for yourself. And then this meme says that she's going to be around until 2364. And I do find it interesting that she never really aged. You know, she's been looking the same for so many years. So yeah, there was so many memes about this. And now I just want to show you guys some more predictive programming. So as you guys know, all of these events happened around this certain event that happened in New York where the towers fell, right? And I can't say the word, but you guys can see it clearly on the screen. Because if you guys think about it, PnB Rock died September 12th, which is one day after this event. And then Queen Elizabeth died September 8th, which was 3 days before this event. So all of these characters died around this event. And there was so much predictive programming with this event. You know, in Sesame Street, they had it in 1976. And then in this movie right here in 1979, and then 1993, and then 1991, and then The Simpsons in 1997, and then Iron Man in 1994, and then all of these other predictive programming situations happened in all these other movies before the event happened. Even in Terminator and this other movie right here, you know, there was so much predictive programming with this. And I made a video about this last year because I talked about the cards that predicted everything. So make sure you guys go check out this video. The link is in the description below. And last thing I want to talk about is the fact that someone in my comments told me about this, and they were saying that the news keeps saying the new normal, right? And that phrase, the new normal, has the same gematria as depopulation. They both equal 148, 58, 176, and 59, all in the same cipher. So this really shows that one of their biggest agendas is depopulation. And they're doing this a lot with fear. You know, people wearing a mask all the time will put you in fear that something bad is going on in the world. And fear is the biggest killer in the world because fear causes stress, and stress will literally kill you. And on top of that, wearing a mask is really bad for your health. You know, you're inhaling carbon dioxide instead of oxygen, so it's really bad for your lungs. And then on top of that, there's a lot of stuff in food, like I mentioned earlier. So let me know if you guys want me to make a video about food, because there's so many things I can mention in that video. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to drop a like, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications, follow me on Instagram, and subscribe to my Patreon. The links are in the description below.